Hello everyone, Erynn Marshall, Carl Jones here.
Hello.
And the tune of the month is Jake's Got the Bellyache from Edden Hammons, one of the most revered fiddlers of the Hammons family. There were many great musicians in that family from Pocahontas, West Virginia, but Edden was the oldest that was recorded in the 1940s. And he had an archaic style of playing. He had some more left-hand ornaments in his playing than a lot of old-time fiddlers do, and sounded sometimes almost slightly Irish. He also played in a lot of alternate tunings, and his bowing was actually not too complicated, but he had a lot of syncopations in his fiddling that were really interesting. So we're going to start with Jake's Got the Bellyache, and it's in A, D, A, E tuning. And this tune was also recorded by Kentucky fiddler Estill Bingham, but he called it Kate's Got the Bellyache. So here goes. That's an old tune there. Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.
So let's break it down and find its secrets. Okay, so yeah, this tuning integral. So you have your low string up to an A, a D, an A, and an E. Okay, and you'll notice that the A part repeats like normal, and the B part is basically 3 phrases, long. Okay, so let's try the beginning. It starts on the A string, and the only slurs in the A part are typically 2-note slurs. So we're going to go and have separate strokes after that. So 2 slurs to start, and then we've got G naturals in here. It's A, but with the G natural, the flat 7th, because it's a modal tune. Okay, so we have an A major 3rd often, and the flat 7th. So that's the scale we're in, Mixolydian. And that's our first phrase. So let's try that again. Slur, slur, then separate strokes. Now let's do a 2-note slur on the up bow for this phrase. So again, mostly 2-note slurs in here. We're going to start on the up bow with a slur, 2 separate notes, and then slur, slur. So we're going back from string to string, from the E to the A string there. And I've listened as best as I can to listen to what bowing he's doing, and this is what I hear. And then we're going to continue those slurs onto the E string. Let's try that phrase again. Last 2 notes are separate. So, starting on the up bow, that second phrase, slur, now Edden does something really weird in here as a variation. I'll show you that as well. So, after his first slur, he gets these really dissonant notes, and he does it often, so he was definitely trying to do them. And what he's doing is, after the slur, he's hitting his second finger on the A and E strings, very dissonant, and then the third finger on those 2 strings. So you can throw that little variation in if you want to get those wild ancient tones in there that he was liking. I have small fingers, so it's a little challenging for me to get across both those strings, but I think it's kind of cool. Okay, so let's play our first phrase again. We had separate, and then starting on the up bow, slur, 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 slur. Okay, and then the third phrase goes like this. Same as the first, right? And then the fourth phrase has a little triplet on the up bow. So just on the up bow, try to do a 3-note triplet, all in one stroke. Let's try that. Start on the up bow. And the ending, slurs, back to 2-note slurs. And I believe there's a 4th finger unison here, sliding up on the 4th finger on the D string with the open A. So you have, and droning those 2 middle strings a lot sounds really good. So I do that at the end of the A part, usually. And sometimes you can drone the first 2 strings a little bit. Like here, it sounds good at the beginning. And then I usually break from it. First phrase again. Triplet on the up bow. Droning. Okay, so that's a normal length A part, and the whole thing's going to repeat. So let's do it again. Sounds great. Okay, let's try our B part. Now the B part to me, is the most challenging because it's got some really tricky rhythms in it. Carl and I spent a lot of time listening to these rhythms. And basically, you have a 3-phrase B part. The phrases are very similar. First and third phrases are the same, and the second phrase is rhythmically different, but it's very close. So let's break that down. Okay, that's your first rhythm on the A and D strings. And then let's put a grace in there, as he often does. So he'll go. Okay, try it again. And it might be helpful to remember at the end of this first bit, short, long. Remember that because you're going to need it later. Short, long, and then one more time. Short, long. Then there's a lot of anticipation in his music. He comes in early on this note we ended up on there, the E note. So and just so you know, all 3 phrases in the B part are going to end with this same ending. So let's learn the ending right now, and it'll all be easier to do. So we're going to go, again, we have a grace note. I'm doing all that on the down bow. 4-finger unison. And my main melody note is the E. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing a quick striking of my second finger there, going to the open on the down bow. 4-finger unison. Again, I have small hands. I have to shift to reach that note. Most people won't have to. And most of the time, you're going to be droning 2 strings the whole time. In that spot. Sounds great if you do. Okay, so going back to the beginning of the B part, we have short, long, and then we're going to go. And then we're going to come in on. And our ending. Let's try that again. This is the first, and your third phrase will be identical, and this is it. Let's try that again. 1, 2, ready, go. Short, long. Stay on that note. One last time, because I really want to cement this one in, because it's most of the B part. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, the second line is the outlier. It's the one that's a little different. So remember, before we went short, long at the end, we went like this. Short, long. Now the second phrase, we're going to reverse the last 2 notes, so it's long, short instead of short, long. Long, short. Try that. Long, short. And there's actually going to be a note right after it. Long, short. So The second bit is the same, right? This part. But we're changing the rhythm of that first bit of the second phrase. Long. And when it does this second phrase variation, instead of staying on that note like we did before when we carried on, it's going to do that first bar again, that first phrase. So, the first time we play the B part, we go short, long. We stay on this note. Second phrase, long, short, and it goes up to the open A. Third phrase, just like the first. Short, long. Stay on that note. So if you're like us, you might get slightly confused on those slight rhythmic changes on the B part, but it's really cool once you figure it out. And we've broken it all down for you, so you won't have to spend as much time as we did. Let's try the whole B part. 1, 2, ready, go. Short, long. Stay there. Second phrase. Long, short. Go the A. Okay, third phrase. Short, long. Stay there. A part. So a really nice ancient tune, and I hope you enjoy playing Jake's Got the Bellyache.